Good morning everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. Today's reading is going to be what do they say to their friends about you. And as usual we've got the three piles, pile number 1, pile number 2 and pile number 3. If you want to take your choice then we'll just get going.
La música de Harry Frog.
Right then, let's have a look at pile number 1. What do they say to their friends about you? Right, to begin with, you have got the Pantone 605, which is a mixture, looks to me like a bit of a gone off citrusy colour, so it's a mixture of green and yellow. So it makes me think of somebody who is quite creative, quite outgoing, but they have a more healing and caring side to them. On the negative side, this mixture is a little bit muddied, so this is where it comes into probably a bit more complicated. I could think or say there's a hint of jealousy going on here. And the reason I'm saying that is that you've got this card. I don't know how to pronounce it. It looks like Erin Yeas. Yeah. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. But it's basically the myth or the legend about the Furies. It's related to like strong vengeance or retribution. Revenging the sanctity of marriage. These two cards together with the fact that the two colours together are perfect, but once they get mixed together it gives that feeling of something not running quite smoothly. And with this card here, avenging the sanctity of marriage, makes me think of a third party situation. And this person would be saying, or possibly could be saying to their friend, I've met somebody and I know I'm with somebody else, but I find this person really attractive. And there's a feeling of jealousy. I don't know which side it comes from or which side it goes to with regards to the fact that somebody else is involved and they probably sitting there imagining you or you're imagining them. It's difficult to know. I'm thinking because this is how they see you, that they're imagining you with somebody else. As if they're tied and they're imagining you possibly in another relationship, or the fact that they may be in a relationship and you're like free and easy and they feel tied. It's that type of feeling about it. I haven't gone through the other cards yet, so I'm just going to say what I'm thinking and then hopefully it'll all sit together. And these two cards here as well make me think the same. The Sun makes me think that in some way you nourish their ego, in some way that you make them feel good. You really strike them at their core energy, but with the comic release here, it's also as if there's a karmic bond, a really strong bond. I'll tell you what I'm thinking, and I hope I'm not on the right. It's not going to fit for everybody, but because it's quite strong in my mind, which may be quite strong anyway. But it makes me think of somebody who has met somebody when they're already in a relationship, or later on in life, when they've almost been playing a part in their life that doesn't feel quite true. Not saying 100% not true, but like there's 10% there that doesn't feel quite connected, and then they've met you and it's almost as if it's a release of something that's built up, and then there's an acknowledgement and a recognition of you, and the fact that you nourish something inside themselves that they feel that they haven't quite displayed, or they haven't quite let loose in some way. And it was mixed with jealousy, and I get a feeling of a third party here. She's a really sort of strong start off to this. Really sorry. And it won't apply to all. There's jealousy, there's the Furies with some sort of something against the sanctity of marriage. There's like a karmic feel and there's a nourishing feel to it. So those four mixed together make me think of a relationship that's difficult. Relationship, they see you as a relationship that they want, but is almost difficult to bring into their life because it blows things up in the air. So I'm expecting to see some sort of Tower card amongst these. I don't know why, because I don't know whether it's in process, it's just the feeling. So with these cards here, how they see you and what they would say to their friend would go more along the lines of, I've met somebody I'm really attracted to. It brings up feelings inside me which don't make me feel comfortable because there's like a jealousy tinge here, but there's a real connection, and I don't often find that in my life. It's like something new and something fresh. You've got the Sun card twice. So it makes me think with these cards here that somehow you make this person feel more of themselves. With regards to meeting you, I wonder whether they've met you when say if you're both in a relationship or one of you's in a relationship, it's almost as if you've met where you're not with family or you're on your own, or there's a feeling of independence there that you may not normally get if there is anything to do with this marriage. And it doesn't have to be marriage, it could be just a relationship, or it could be tied to anything. It could be tied to anything, it doesn't have to be another person. But there's like a tinge of marriage a tinge of jealousy as if one person's energy is going in a different direction, like making the other one feel as if they haven't got enough. Which I'm assuming is them. I don't know. It could be either way, because if they're talking to a friend about this, they could be saying that I can't give this person what they need as well. So it could be either way. I can't give this person what they need, even though they make me feel good and there's a real connection there. I'll keep going and see which way it goes and which way it tumbles. But the connection's got something to do with, I think, some sort of practical get together. It could be working together because you've got two Pentacle cards here, but one of them is the Page of Pentacles. So it's some sort of small practical new beginning where you both have felt independent. It makes me feel almost like, this is like almost like rather than it is, like a works do. When you have your identity with regards to your family and your friends, and then so do they, and then you almost lift out of it, and then you meet on a path or a get together which has got no family attachments. You could be whoever you want it to be, that type of feeling. But then again, it could also be outdoors, because this card here, the Nine of Pentacles, is a garden, and the Sun is this lady in the garden. So it could be something outdoors where you've actually met. But with the two suns here, there's that feeling and the karmic release on the meeting of a real easy get together where the person feels as if you're the one, and it's natural, it's open, it's honest, it's natural. It's like a bit of awakening card, these. Right, just to sum up these cards so far, what they would say to their friend would be, I've come a little bit outside my comfort zone and I've met this person, and although nothing big happened to begin with, there's a real connection where I felt as if I'd known this person for a long time, and it was easy to talk to them and they made me feel good. I feel there's a sense of like deja vu on meeting you. There's a sense of knowing you. And an ease, it's like a north node bond or a south node bond here. But there's also, I know that one of us is tied in other ways, and it's beginning to bring up feelings inside me that I don't often feel. It's like feelings of jealousy and wanting to connect, and I don't actually enjoy the feelings, but it's just this person brings up a really strong emotional feel inside me. Right, okay, let's keep going. I wonder whether it's a work connection or some sort of school connection, or just like something practical that you do every day, like you see somebody, I don't know, I'm thinking work, some sort of where you're both connected in a way that has got something to do with money or finances. And I know it could be somebody you've met in the local shop, but it's giving me that feeling that's got that feel about it. It's like a connection where you're both independent when you meet, but there's ties somewhere else, which is why this card may make me think of jealousy, and this card here makes me think of bringing up feelings to do with being connected somewhere else, and it's almost like a sense of stretching your morals in some way, or their morals in some way. The initial attraction makes me think that with the Ace of Pentacles here, and what we've talked about the Sun here, that the connection was mental. Initially was like a real strong recognition of each other, but then a real strong mental connection where you communicated really well, and it was just easy, and it just felt, when you walk away from somebody and it just feels natural, as if, God, I just spoke to that person as if I'd known them for a long time. I remember meeting somebody years and years ago, and he met his wife. He was Pisces, I remember. Anyway, he met his wife on the train, on the tube in London, and they just got talking, and they lived in Wales after this. So it's just that initial connection where, as if you know straight away, and then it carries on. I think they must have exchanged numbers. It wasn't a deep conversation, but I just thought it was quite romantic that they met on the tube. Just a conversation, both got off. Never thought anything more about it, apart from exchanging numbers, must have done. And then they got married and they lived in a little house in Wales. It's that type of feel about it, where the connection was immediate, but there's ties, or there's something here that's sense of emotions are all up in the air. Then you've gone away and you've thought about it and wondered whether you can connect with this person again, whether you have the ability to connect with this person again, or whether it's the right thing to do, because there's a moral component here too. But I think your connection here may be to do with work or finances in some way, or something practical. I will turn this into, I might get the boards out at the end to turn it into basically answering your question, because the boards are quite good for summing it up with regard to the question. I don't think you're together now. I think what has happened is that this feeling that I got from the first pile here is a real strong emotional turmoil feeling of feeling the connection, but knowing that there's something you can't do to quite get it together. And you've got the Tower card here in the Five of Cups. Makes me think that it's almost been too much to cope with. It's like, I'm not going to say obsessive, but that type of relationship where the connection's felt straight away, there's some sort of blockage, and then you move out, you do a lot of thinking, you're both doing a lot of thinking and wondering how to get it together because it feels so natural, and it feels like you're meant to be together, and then there's lots of decisions and how can you get it to move, but the connection has almost had to move away for a reason, and the separation between you both, which feels hard. And you're both thinking about each other quite a lot. It just feels hard because not very often in your life you actually feel these really strong connections. So when you do, you actually want to keep it. It doesn't always mean that it's meant to be kept for like a long term. And I always think in astrology, nodal contacts tend to make me feel that it's more of a long-term bond, rather than the fact that, as I say quite often, that you get on the train with these people and you learn from each other and then you get off at different stations, not literally. This is more like you get on the train with this person, and when there's a nodal contact, you stay with them for a long time, the lessons are big. Anyway, basically, it's as if you two have gotten a train, had a conversation, gotten extremely well, and felt like this is the person. And you've nourished each other. You've made each other feel good. And this is what this person is saying. And then you've separated and gone your ways. There's just a lot of thinking and a lot of playing with ideas and how to get back together again. So what are their intentions? Right, there's a real combination here. This person has walked away from the situation for these reasons which I sort of discussed here above. And the Temperance makes me think, especially with this man sat down as if he's relaxing and thinking. And Temperance is, I'm not going to say cerebral because it's not, because it's Sagittarius, but it's somebody who wants to definitely take a look from a higher ground. They're trying to look at this situation because I think it has got a lot of different things going on here. They're trying to think of the most moral thing to do, because Sagittarius is quite moralistic in many ways. Not all the time. Not when it comes to getting what they want, especially with regards to something that's a bit more rambunctious like sex. But with regards to how they have a philosophy for life, that's definitely there. And I think they just get carried away with that animal nature in different scenarios. But this person is trying to do the right thing with regards to their connection to you. They've gone away and they're trying to think of how to approach things practically, and then they're going to come back and give you this sort of, and I wonder whether, what does ensconced mean? I don't know. I'm going to say ensconced. I don't even know what it means. It sounds like scones to me, with some sort of cover story of, oh, I just thought it'd be really good if we could get together and do this, because this person wants to know more about you. They feel the connection. They want it, but they possibly don't feel that it's right in this scenario, in this situation, because I'm thinking of other commitments, and I don't know what those commitments are. Right, I'm going to get my board and sum that up for you. So what they would say to their friends, is that right in the centre? What they would say to their friends. Right, then pile number one. This is what I tend to have picked up from the cards here. I'll read it to you because my writing is a bit scruffy. This is what they would be saying to their friend. I've met this person and they've turned my world upside down, and I feel all over the place because it's such a strong connection, and I'm not sure if I feel this comfort and this intensity if I let it go. I might not get it back again. I can't get to this person. I'm afraid that it's not morally the correct thing to do anyway, but I'm still going to go forward with it. So that's generally the feeling that I got, pile number one. I hope that helps in some way. Quite a strong connection, but it made me feel with these cards here initially that there's some sort of, it made me think marriage, but there could be marriage to anything. Okay, pile number one, thank you ever so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Hi there, pile number two. Let's see what they say to their friends about you. Okay, 9 of Cups. Connection, make me feel good, Wheel of Fortune. Right then, okay. You've got the Pantone. I'm just going to go through it initially, then I will talk to it. So I won't talk to it. I would basically twist it round to see what they're saying to their friends. So let me just go through the cards with you, then I'll sum up these little two piles here. The Pantone 9041 is a pale blue colour, which makes me think of quite a cool connection, but has an innocent feel to it because it's mixed with white. So there's that feeling of sweetness, but a real mental connection, but is quite sweet and innocent. It's just like an ease to it. And you've got Fortuna here, which is the Wheel of Fortune. And this is like art from ancient Rome, where it's got the lady who has her face. It's got two faces, and both sides mean the two different sides of luck. So this person is feeling a real connection with you that's sweet And just because it's such a baby blue, it makes me think of a real innocence about it. But it's almost as if this person feels like they're extremely lucky to have met you. A bit like pile number one, but with less of the intensity. This is more a bit more joyous and a bit more childlike and a bit more innocent about it. The Nine of Cups you've got here, which again with the pelican with all the fish in its gullet. I don't know. All the fish in its, I can't breathe. I'm going to say gob, but I said gullet. The fish in its mouth pouch is just the cat that's got the cream, but it's the pelican that's got the fish. And with this luck card here, this person feels as if there's a calmness about it. It's not like somebody who goes, was it Tom Cruise when he's whooping on that chair? It's not got that feel about it. It's got a feel of, oh my God, I've struck gold, that type of feeling. So this person, male or female, will be telling their best buddy, I've met somebody and I feel like I've struck gold. They just make me feel good, and it's got that sort of innocent air of a connection when you're kids and you don't want anything out of each other, you just enjoy each other's company. They could also be saying it's a really strange connection because I've dreamt about this person before I met them, or when I'm not with them, I tend to think about them a lot, and it's almost like psychic daydreaming, as in they can almost see the situation, the next situation before it happens. There's a sweet edge with Psyche and that Pantone colour, and these really fantastic best fortune cookie cards you could get. This has got a real, it's like a Jupiter contact. It's like a Jupiter-Venus contact. When you feel like you've struck gold and you can just feel like your heart is swelling from the inside. It's a really, the kind of feeling that makes you want to cry a little bit when you're happy. It's that type of feeling. And you call sort of your heart swelling, or you feel that sort of swelling inside your chest, and it makes you want to cry at the same time. This is how this person feels like about you. Good English, eh? Right, your initial meeting has got something to do with it. This is all sweet feelings, but your initial meeting has got a more intense feeling of it being quite exciting and the connection being quite fiery. There's either like a fast conversation. It could be like dancing. It could be movement. It could be just a feeling of excitement inside this person when they met you, as if everything just starts kicking off and it just feels correct. It could be outdoor. It could be adventure. It could be just something. It's just fun. It's just fun or movement to me. The Knight of Wands and the Judgment card here, especially with this Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Cups. My camera actually on, but I'm talking to myself. It makes me think of the recognition of the connection. The recognition of the connection. This lady has her inner self, I'm assuming I say innards, actually moving out of herself. So it's going above, with this Psyche card here, above and out of the normal mundane life and feeling a connection which, oh, this is nice because it makes me think of somebody who, do you know when you walk away from somebody and you think, oh, that was really easy, and then you're still thinking about them afterwards? It's a bit like a film that plays over and over in their mind about you without it being, like it's not an obsessive feel about it. It's just like, I'd like to understand that feels really good. This is how this person feels about you. This is what they will be telling their friend. But the Ten of Swords could be two cases. The Ten of Swords makes me think that they initially saw you from behind. That they saw your back first, they saw your hair first, and that might have been initial attraction. You could have been wearing, male or female, you could have been wearing, I'm going to say feminine clothes, but I mean feminine in the fact that it's light and it drapes across your body rather than the fact it clings like my huge, disgusting, bobbly, woolly jumper. It's that feeling of the attraction. If this is initial meeting, the attraction being in your looks, in your hair, the way that your hair falls or the way that it's styled, or, even if they were that close, it could have been like a smell about it. There's something about your back. There's something about probably the relationship between your waist and your shoulders and your hips that they found attractive, and the way that your clothes actually sit on that part of your body that actually accentuates it. So that's quite physical. That one makes me feel physical. I was going to say you've actually moved away from each other. But I don't think that that's got something to do with your figure, male or female, and to do with the ratio of your shoulders and your waist and your hips and the way that your clothes actually cling to those parts of your body and your hair. Okay, let's just sum these two lines up already about what they would be saying to their best bud about this. So they would say, I've met somebody and it's a really innocent and sweet connection that feels extremely natural. When I'm not with this person, I'm continually thinking about them, not in an obsessive way, but just in a way that makes me feel like I've struck gold. I just feel that this person makes me feel like a bigger person myself. Your initial meeting would have, excuse me, when I first met this person on the first meeting, it just took off immediately. It was exciting. I couldn't find my words. I was talking too fast. There was movement, and it just felt like the beginning of an adventure to me. And I felt a real strong connection that felt slightly outside of normal everyday life. And they had a really hot body. That's what they would be saying. Right, let's keep going. Okay. The initial attraction, I think, has been something that has fired off immediately, and it's been like a connection where it's easy to speak, it's easy to talk, and it's exciting, as in maybe a bit too exciting. Then I think afterwards this person has almost, both of you possibly, this is what they would be telling their friend, okay, after the initial attraction, I've almost overthought it and I don't really know what to do next. I feel as if I'm playing with decisions on what to do because it was so easy that I don't want to think that it's just me that feels like this, although I feel a really, really strong connection. And I'm sure they would be saying, I know that she feels it too. I know that he feels it too, but I'm not definite. And I'm afraid of making a fool of myself if we see each other again, because I'm trying to play out the scenario in my head. And this person made me feel good. I'm not really sure what's going to happen next. I don't know how to play it. The kind of thing, what do you think I should do would be the next question they would ask their friend. That's what that makes me think of here. Oh my gosh, okay, this is exactly the same card. Now, pile number one came in exactly the same position. I don't think you're together at the moment. I think that this person would be telling their friend that the connection was so easy and so sweet that they've basically overthunk it. That's a new word for you, overthunk it. And it's just separated. And it could be for some other exterior reasons, and I don't know, because the Tower card is strong. Rather than just walking away, there could be something to do with the fact that you're not together. They may have found out that you've got somebody. They may have found out that you can't get close to each other, because that Tower card's strong after all these nice feelings. So the situation between you at the moment, I don't think that you're together. The Six of Cups, this person is trying now. Do you know what it makes me feel? And this could only apply to a few, but it makes me feel of somebody who has, it's like one of those old, like Notting Hill films, that type of thing. When you meet somebody and you just kick it off and it's really exciting and it's fun and it's sweet and it's open. It does make me think of those old Hugh Grant films. And then you find out later that there's something extra that means that you can't be together. So this person's gone back on his back foot or her back foot and turned into control now. They're sort of reminiscing over it and wishing that the connection could be deeper, and it was, just to get that sweetness back. But with the Tower and the Emperor, it's like somebody's found out something that's shocking and then gone into control mode so they don't make a fool of themselves. Okay, so what they're going to do about this, they will be telling their buddies, I'm going to have to basically bury this inside myself. My desires are strong, my feelings are strong. I can feel the attraction and the connection, but it's causing me turmoil. And for some reason, somebody's going to lose in this. And I don't know why. It's got something to do with that Tower card. So once again, it could be something to do with, there's some reason you two can't be together, I'm thinking. I don't know if it's distance, somebody else, work relationship. There's just something extra because this person has found something out, still feels the connection, is trying to use control to get through the situation. This is them trying to be, you've moved on. These two cards together, I love them together. The Emperor card, which is from the last pack, is somebody who is like a man boy in the way that they try and control life in a sort of it doesn't have to be, it can be male or female, in a way that's quite immature. It's like I can cope with this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then if it turns into the strength, it's more like I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it from inside myself rather than from just trying to look like I'm in control. There's an immaturity about the Emperor, I always think, and it's almost as if their immaturity is the fact that they don't want to look immature. They're trying to take on that parental role, and they can tend to overdo it at times and be a little bit severe, but they're doing it for everybody else's best interest and their own. But the Strength card is somebody, with regards to what they're going to do, is almost matured in some way after the initial thoughts and feelings of, I'm going to say upset here. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to deal with this from a more moral standpoint and a desire to be in control of their emotions for everybody's good. That Emperor sometimes can be a desire to be in control of their emotions so that they feel good. But they realise, even though the feelings are very strong, from their point of view, that there's some sort of loss that's going to occur if this relationship carries on. And I don't quite know what that is. It's as if somebody's going to lose, not everybody's going to win, something's going to happen, and I don't know why. Right, let me just get my board and I will sum this up, what they would say to their friend. Okay, they would say to their friend, I couldn't believe my luck when I met him or her. The connection was sweet, immediate and easy, and then I found out whatever it is they found out, and I'm not sure where to go from here. I know that someone's going to get hurt along the line, and I don't want to do the hurting. So that's the feel that I got from that one, and I don't know if that helps you in any way or rings true in any way. I hope it does. But it's so nice, the connection. It's almost like you've struck gold, and then there's a bit of anxiety about not being able to manifest it in some way. Okay, pile number 2. I'm going to leave it there. I hope that helps you. Thank you ever so much for spending time with me, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Let's have a look at what they would say to their friends about you. Justice, Juno. 7 of strength. Right, I think they would start off by saying you've got this freesia colour here, which is a mixture of what looks like yellow and orange. So it's a real feeling of creativity and fun and excitement with wanting that to be moving forward as well at the same time. So it's movement and fun and a connection that just feels as if it's easy. Sorry, I've got people outside. So we're just saying the connection there with the freesia is a feeling of excitement and fun and openness and movement forward. And you've got the 7 of fire here, which is, I'm not pronouncing these correct, I'm sure. It looks like Shira, doesn't it, riding here? Durga. So Durga actually says beyond reach. So I'm wondering whether this person, a bit similar to pile 1 and 2, is a feeling of openness and connection, but with a feeling that you can't go any further with it in some way, possibly, or the fact that you make them feel vulnerable. I don't know. Hi there, pile number 3. Your card's out already because I've just had a bit of a false start. And I was just saying to myself, you've got freesia colour here and you've got the 7 of fire. These two cards together, the freesia colour is a mixture of orange and yellow, so it makes me think a bit like the chariot card of something that's exciting and forward moving and fun and open, but with some sort of direction. And the 7 of fire, once again a fire card, and this is Durga, which actually looks more like Shira rather than Durga on the tiger. Is it He-Man? I can't remember. Durga actually means beyond reach. I'm not going to say anything about that for the moment. It means beyond reach, and I think almost pulling up different qualities. There's a wildness and there's a strength, but there's a feeling of exposing vulnerabilities. And then you've got these cards here. I'm just basically walking myself through these to begin with. The Justice card here is a weighing up of certain emotions or situations or circumstances or mental processes or feelings. And with Juno here, I'm tending to think it's got more to do with something to do with a relationship. And Juno once again makes me think of balance. So there's something to do with balance and connecting and wanting things to be fair. There's a forward movement here that's exciting and fun, and there's some sort of pulling out of vulnerabilities mixed with wildness and strength. So your person's been all over the place. They would be saying to their friend, I've met this man or woman and they just make me feel good. They make me feel alive, and there's this like passion and this direction that I want to move forward with, but it's almost as if it's churning things up inside me because I want to be balanced. I don't think that I am. There's a mixture of not wanting to expose my vulnerabilities, but there's a mixture. The wildness and strength very much is the chariot card to me. So it's forward movement, direction, and almost getting carried away with yourself and almost like pulling your horses in. And then there's this like balance here. So to me, this card is this person's met you and there's a real need to move forward in a sort of animalistic or physical way, but then to sort of put the sweetness into it and the light into it that makes it look more like this Justice card with the birds flying and everything's balanced. So this person is juggling their feelings to you, passion, balance. When they first met you, I wonder whether there's lots of people around. You've got the 10 of Pentacles here, so it very much could be a family situation, or with the Ace of Pentacles, a work situation. The 2 Pentacle cards makes me think that it's more likely to be something practical with a group of people, like a work celebration, because the 10 of Pentacles is accumulation of all the pentacles. So it could be like, like a meeting which is moving on from one process to the other in work, where you're basically wrapping something up and it's the end of a process and the beginning of something else. Or 10 of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles. Some sort of practical offer where this person, this is very similar to the second part, where this person is watching you from a distance to begin with, because this is how you've met, is watching you from a distance. There's a lot of waiting to want to talk to you. The 3 of Wands is you may have made contact before, and the 3 of Wands is almost as if they've recognised you again and they want to work with you again. You're in a practical situation, so they're basically looking at you thinking, I know you, I've seen you somewhere before, we've spoke a little bit before, I want more. How can I do that without looking like I'm really rabid? Or how can I, how can I balance the situation so I look like I'm composed? That's the feeling I'm getting from the beginning. And what they would be saying to their friend was, I've met this person and I think I know him or her from before, or they look familiar. We've exchanged a small contact, and then I've seen them probably in a group situation with a justice card with all these doves, pigeon doves, doves because they got olive branch, and the Ten of Pentacles. There's lots of people here, and they're afraid, or they would be asking their friend, I've seen them, they would be telling their friend, I recognise them, I've seen them before, and I need to basically calm myself down before I make contact, because there's a little bit more rumbling inside of me than just polite conversation. Oh my gosh, okay, this person has had a really strong physical pull towards you, because the King of Wands is quite an animalistic feel about it. It's quite, basically, it's a bit more base chakra than wishing wanting to meditate with you. They don't want to meditate with you. They want something more physical with you. But with the Three of Swords here and the Six of Cups, makes me think that you remind them of somebody that they have been with before, or that they've had very strong feelings for. Because this pile here is the initial attraction. So they've seen you and it's been a real physical pull towards you, but it's as if you remind them of somebody, because somebody they've been with and aren't with anymore. The Six of Cups here is like, it's the past, it's comfort, but this has got a heartache with it. Okay, let me keep going. Right, very similar to pile 2 and 3. I don't think you're with this person now. It's almost as if one of you have taken off and basically not left your phone number type of feeling, because the Seven of Swords is something that may feel a little bit underhand, or they basically couldn't get a grasp on what they wanted. It's as if somebody's walked out of a situation and not acknowledged them as they felt like they ought to have been acknowledged. But this person is feeling a really strong connection, because the Judgment card here with a lady with her inner self outside of herself makes me think that they feel the connection is deeper, possibly than you think it is. I don't know. The Strength card here is almost as if they're trying to think of some logical way to express and suppress their desires, because this card here is a strong desire card, and the Strength card here is almost trying to think of a way to not rock the boat, but to quieten down their more animalistic nature without making a fool of themselves. To be honest, all these three piles are very similar. Similar feelings. Oh my gosh, their intentions towards you, you have got the Sun and the Star and the King of Cups. So their intentions, it makes me think, because the intentions pile is so strong and the rest of them are, okay, strong, but not like the same strength as this. It makes me think of somebody you've had a small contact with. Or there's not an ongoing relationship going on here. It's somebody who has felt the attraction and it's been there and slightly muddled with lots of people around you, possibly. A recognition of you, but a passionate feeling towards you, and then you've both basically moved away, and this person is, with a Judgment and Strength, is overthinking this, as in like, I want to come across in the correct way. There's a real nice feel about this person. I want to come across in the correct way without upsetting things, and I want to do it respectfully. And these cards, for their intentions, the Sun is to be open and clear and to be warm. There's a warmth here. So this is a type of person that you're into. It actually looks pleased to see you, and probably there's physical contact. And the Star card here is somebody who's hoping for the best. Really, these two are major arcana. And the King Heart here is somebody who's going to, especially with the Strength card here, is going to, with regards to you and what they're saying to their friends, is going to take the higher road and the more mature option with regards to their emotions and how they express them, with clarity and with honesty and with a real, genuine affection. Really sweet. Really sweet. Okay, I'm going to sum this up quickly. I'm going to write it down for you at the end to make it clearer. So, you've met this person, and there's been a sense of imbalance here. Well, they're trying to find balance because there's passion and there's what were the words we used? It's almost as if you may be out of their reach. There's passion and there's a weighing up between the wildness inside themselves and their vulnerabilities. See, this person makes me think with this Strength card here in this last pile that they're really in touch with themselves, and although they feel for you, and this is, all right, I'll turn it around. This is what they're telling their friends. I've met somebody who I have extremely strong feelings for and I want to do the best for them. I've met them in a group situation and I've just done a lot of staring, although I might have known this person before, and I think I've had contact with them. You possibly have talked or made some sort of contact. They remind me of somebody I fell in love with many years ago, but the physical pull towards this person, you, is extremely strong. I can't get hold of them at the moment. I don't know where they are, but I'm still doing a lot of thinking about them, and I'm trying to do the best thing for them. And I want to tell them how I feel because I'm doing a lot of thinking and a lot of feeling about them. And my feelings are genuinely warm and open. And I want to do the best for them. Right, I'm going to sum that up on a board for you. What they would say to their friend. So this person would say to their friend, okay, right, they would say to their friend, I've met someone who is causing me to take a look at myself. Causing isn't the right word there. I feel an intense passion and a connection that feels natural. They remind me so much of blah, 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 blah. I don't know who you remind them of. What do I do next? He or she seems lovely, and I don't want to overstep the mark, but I want to let them know how I feel. So that's what I picked up from what I would think they would be saying to their friend there. I don't know if that makes sense in any way, and how much you know what this person has actually said to their friend or not, or whether you've picked up information from somebody else. Okay, right, pile number 3. I hope that helps in some way. Thank you ever so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again. Bye.